Joining us to speak more on this is Nqabutho Mabhena, General Secretary of Zimbabwe Communist Party. Thank you for joining us on the news. What has been the general reaction among people in Zimbabwe to Chatunga Mugabe's court appearance?
Thank you so much. Greetings to you and to the viewers. Over the weekend, what we were told through the media was that the alleged gun that was used to fire the shots had not been recovered. So there was a speculation amongst the Zimbabweans that in the absence of the gun, the case might be weak. So over the weekend, the discussion was centered around the possible dismissal of the case on the lack of evidence, given that the gun had not been recovered. So that has been the general discussion, and people are feeling that money has actually exchanged hands to an extent that the case might not go far. But of course, this has changed this morning when he appeared in court.
So are people surprised by the attempted murder charges linked to the shooting in Johannesburg?
No, Zimbabweans are not surprised, because this is not the first time that he has been found on the wrong side of the law. Not only him, his brother, and also his mother. You remember in 2017, his mother came to South Africa, assaulted a young lady who was believed to be their friend or girlfriend. And we know at the time Mugabe was still alive, the father was president, and there were issues around the diplomatic relations between Harare and South Africa, to an extent that then First Lady Grace Mugabe did not appear, or the case was not pursued, simple escaped to South Africa. So when this happened, the people were like, look, this was bound to happen, because they see a pattern, a certain behavior amongst the Mugabe family members.
So do people believe the case could affect the Mugabe family's public image in Zimbabwe? And, you know, based on precedents, have their public image been affected before now?
The public image of Mugabe was dented during his rule. His cling on to power until he was removed in 2017 by the military, assisted by the mass of the people. So the image has always been soiled. The behavior of the then First Lady Grace Mugabe also contributed to that. We know how she has conducted herself, particularly with the workers around her farm in Zimbabwe. So the image cannot be sold by what Chatunga has done. It has always been sold, but it presents a certain privilege that is being seen amongst the children of Robert Gabriel Mugabe.
So has this incident sparked debate about the privilege and accountability for prominent families?
The issue that has been raised, we know that the Mugabe children were not gifted in school. We do not know what business they are engaged in. So questions that arises is, how do they reside in South Africa? Because if they were to apply for any of the available permits for them to be in South Africa, they will not qualify unless, of course, they bring lots of money from Zimbabwe, which you can then qualify. But the question is, what is this business that they are doing in South Africa that will afford them to be in South Africa? So then that raises the question of privilege, that you have Mugabe that ran down the economy, and we had always been saying that they were reconstructing the economy. And if the economy was performing well, why would Mugabe's children be in South Africa?
All right. The General Secretary of Zimbabwe's Communist Party, Nqabutho Mabhena, thank you for joining us on the news and sharing your thoughts on this.